What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing today's game between the Chicago Bulls and Milwaukee Bucks, and of course, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls are coming off of a loss versus the Indiana Pacers in their previous matchup, and they were on a back-to-back, facing off against one of the hotter and better teams, not only in the Eastern Conference, but also in the NBA, with an MVP candidate in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and also guys like Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday. The Chicago Bulls were without DeMar DeRozan for another game due to the hip thigh injury that he has going on right now. They're saying he can't really get the lift on his shots like he wants to. And we've seen that over the course of the last few games. He hasn't been averaging, DeMar DeRozan-like numbers lately. So even with that, Billy Donovan still was without guys like Javonte Green, Alex Caruso tonight, and of course, Lonzo Ball. But in that, you saw a lineup that consisted of Ayo Dosunmu, Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. Not a bad lineup, but when you are going up against a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, you have to tread lightly because they have guys at every position skill-wise that can get the job done. Now, Vucevic did get the first basket of the game. It was a three, and you see him with the first 5 points of the actual game. He had the first 5 points for the Bulls tonight. But Brook Lopez came back, and he was assertive early with a three. You seen Kobe White get into the rim. And the Bucks, they hit 5 early threes, and that's how I knew it was going to be a long night for Chicago. Yes, the Bulls did hit a number of threes versus the Pacers, but this is a different animal. If you are not able to hit the threes at the same clip as a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. And that showed early for Chicago. But you did see Patrick Williams with a three. You seen Brook Lopez with a rim run. Carter with a couple threes early. And just the Bucks overall, their three-point shooting tonight was just absolutely top tier. Also, you seen Brook Lopez with a great start. But Zach LaVine offense was coming along in the latter stages of the quarter. I liked when Dalen Terry got minutes in tonight's basketball game. He showed why he should have been getting more minutes since the onset of the season. Better late than never, though. And the Bulls were down as much as 13 in the quarter. You seen Zach LaVine get into transition. Kobe White hit a few pull-up jumpers. And Kobe was also aggressive early. Happy birthday to Kobe White also. Now, the Bulls were down 34-24 after one. They were down 10. Now, in the start of the second, you seen Patrick Williams get a three to start, and his three was falling, but the Bulls just could not stop Brook Lopez, whether it was inside, whether it was outside. When the Bulls were even attacking the basket on the offensive end, Brook Lopez was being that rim protector. And that's what I was saying while I was watching the game. I'm like, they have to figure out a way to pull him away from the basket. Now, mind you, Giannis did not have his fingerprints on the first quarter. He was rebounding, he was assisting, but he was not scoring. So in the second quarter, Giannis started getting aggressive, and in doing so, he did injure himself. I believe it was on a defensive play, and it was either his hand, wrist, or his fingers, and he ended up going into the back and not returning in this basketball game. Ayo Dosunmu did get to the rim. And the Bulls, they just, like I said, they could not get guys off the perimeter. Brook Lopez had himself a first half. You seen Terry get his hustle minutes, rebounding, loose balls, things like that. But again, the Bucks threes, man, it just, whether it was Drew Holiday, whether it was Grayson Allen, whether it was, again, guys like Brook Lopez, Javon Carter, it just was a never-ending thing. You see Andre Drummond get in effective with minutes too. But Zach LaVine's offense started to come along towards the end. And that's one thing. I would have liked to see Zach LaVine be more aggressive as he was in the game versus the Pacers. Yes, I know, different team, but I would have liked to see him be a lot more aggressive in this game. The Bulls were down at half, 61-49. Now, Vucevic, did get the first basket of the third, and Ayo Dosunmu was hitting the threes. But again, what kept rearing his ugly head in this entire basketball game was the Bucks threes. You seen Patrick Williams get into the rim, Vucevic points in the paint, and the Bulls cut the lead down. They were down as much as 20 plus, but they did cut the lead down in the third to 10 and got it a little closer. You seen Patrick Williams get into the rim, but again, the Bulls could not stop Brook Lopez. The Bulls cut the lead to 8. But Drew Holiday started to make his impact, whether it was assisting on other guys making baskets, whether it was his rebounding, whether it was his shot making. Drew Holiday, the all-star, definitely came with a point to prove in the second half. The Bulls, after 3, were down 12, 85-73. And I said, okay, if they can find a way to gut out a great 12 minutes, that gives them the best chance to win this basketball game. You seen Vucevic with the first basket in the fourth, and the Bulls just couldn't get close. That was basically the tail end of how the game ultimately went. The Chicago Bulls could not get close to the Milwaukee Bucks to give it a run. I will applaud Billy Donovan for giving guys that you don't usually see. You seen a two-way player out there tonight. I'll get into that. But the Bulls just could not get close versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Even though the Bulls have beaten the Bucks previously this season, they just didn't have enough. You need all hands on deck when you play a team like Milwaukee. And mind you, Milwaukee lost Giannis, so it's no telling what would have happened if he was actually out there and able to impact tonight's basketball game. What I can say is, at this stage, going into the All-Star break for the Chicago Bulls, let me get into tonight's actual, box scores, things like that. The Chicago Bulls did lose tonight by a final score of 112-100. They are now 26-33 on the season. As far as the high man for tonight's basketball game was Brook Lopez with 33 points. He went 3 of 6 from 3. You seen Javon Carter with 22, Drew Holiday with 15, 9, and 6. On the Bulls side of the basketball, you seen Patrick Williams with 16, shot 3 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic with another double-double, 22 points, 16 rebounds, 2 of 6 from 3. Kobe White did not make any threes. That was a little shaky for me. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 points. Zach LaVine shot a lackluster 5 of 16 from the field. Not to mention Kobe White shot 4 of 14 from the field also. Zach LaVine shot 1 of 5 from 3, did have 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 18 points. I would have liked Zach LaVine to shoot somewhere in between the 20 to 25 range in this basketball game. But what I can say is the defense by the Milwaukee Bucks definitely limited him. You seen Drew Holiday on him a lot and was forcing him to pass. They definitely was trapping Zach also. So it's kind of hard to get in rhythm when you don't have your number 2 guy like a DeMar DeRozan out there with you. Dalen Terry off the bench with 13 points. He played 27 minutes tonight. A lot of them was, garbage time too, but 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 13 points. You did see a Bradley sighting and Jones. That's the guy I wanted to talk about. Jones, the guy from the G League that got called up. He did play 22 minutes, went 0-4 from the field. The Bulls as a team went 10 of 32 from 3. So they did put them up. They just were not making them. And now at this point of the season where that was the Bulls' final game until sometime next week, you can analyze what they have so far. And so far, it hasn't been good. So far, it just looks like a team that they don't have what it takes to compete against some of the better teams in the conference. Right now, yes, it's about being healthy and whole, but also it's about competing and winning games, especially against opponents that you are supposed to beat, and especially in games where you're up, double digits. The Chicago Bulls, as a team collectively, have to bear down and figure out a way to over the next course of the next few weeks. You know, we're already in the latter stages of February. March and April will be right around the corner, and before you know it, you're either going to be on the outside looking in or on the outside altogether. So the Bulls have a lot to look up to as far as teams, as far as what do they want to do if the buyout market is somewhere where they want to look for help. Yes, we've heard the rumors about Russell Westbrook. Yes, we've heard, other things being thrown around. But right now, with the roster collectively as it is, this team is not good enough to actually be able to win 48 minutes of basketball. They have the talent. They just have to figure out how to put it together. I say the same thing verbatim, and honestly, it's getting old. It feels like, not making any moves at the trade deadline sent volumes to me anyway, because that let me know you were okay with what we had and you thought that could help us compete later on down the road. But right now, the Chicago Bulls do not look like a team that's even worthwhile of watching now. Even when they go up big in games, it's like, how are they going to lose tonight? Even when they go against teams where you say, man, they can actually beat this team, they find a way to lose. And the Bulls have to do better in that aspect. Having a DeMar DeRozan, having a Nikola Vucevic, having a Zach LaVine, having a Alex Caruso. You have to be better. You have a third-year player in Patrick Williams who should be more consistent. You have a player in Kobe White who should be more consistent. You have a player in Ayo Dosunmu. He's not the prototypical point guard, but he's playing the point guard position. He has to be better. Guys have to be more than what they have been over the course of the year so far. It's no excuse at this point. You guys are professionals. You guys need to go out there and execute and know how to win games and play a full 48 minutes of basketball. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Chicago Bulls fans, Milwaukee Bucks fans, or if you're just an NBA fan and this is your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.